Chosen one, pause for a moment and ask yourself this. What if everything shifts on a day the world sees as ordinary, but heaven marked as sacred? What if this Monday, yes, this one, has been circled on God's calendar since before you were even born? What if what you're about to walk into is not just a moment, but a movie scene written specifically for you, crafted with divine intention, prophetic timing, and eternal purpose? This is not just hype, this is holy alignment. And I need you to hear me clearly. Something is already moving behind the scenes on your behalf. It's not chaos, it's choreography. It's not random, it's revelation unfolding. The script of your life is entering a chapter so precise, so undeniable, that when it happens, you'll know it could only be God. This Monday is not just the start of a week, it's the start of your next scene. Before we dive in, let me pause and thank each and every one of you who has donated through Super Thanks. Your support means more than words can express. It's what helps keep these messages flowing, reaching souls across the globe, igniting divine reminders exactly when they're needed. And even if you haven't given, please know, your presence here is a gift. I'm truly grateful you're on this journey with me. Now, have you ever felt like your life was building up to something, but you couldn't explain what it was? Like every delay was secretly setting up a breakthrough? Like you've been waiting for the day where it all finally makes sense? That day might just be closer than you think, because Monday is coming with energy that doesn't whisper, it declares. This message isn't just another video, it's a moment, a turning point, a spiritual bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. And you didn't stumble here by accident. You were summoned. You were drawn in because something in your spirit recognized the sound of destiny. So stay with this word until the end. There's something in it just for you. And I want you to do something bold right now. In the comments, write your highest, wildest, most fearless wish. Let it be a declaration. Let it speak to the heavens. Let it charge the atmosphere. And end it with 777, your confirmation code of divine alignment, spiritual completion, and heavenly permission. Because, chosen one, the floodgates of favor don't respond to passivity. They respond to bold faith. This isn't just about a good Monday. It's about a supernatural shift that will redefine your entire week. A moment when the storyline flips. When what you prayed for steps out of waiting and into manifestation. When what you thought was delayed is revealed to have been right on time all along. So are you ready? Are you open? Are you alert to the signs that this Monday is not like the rest? Good, because we're about to go deeper, and by the time this message is over, you won't just believe it, you'll feel it. The movie is about to begin, and the spotlight is looking for you. God's chosen ones, this Monday will be like a movie. Listen closely. You've walked through days so heavy they made you question your direction. You've endured stretches of time where the silence from heaven felt louder than any answer you were hoping to hear. Weeks have passed in a fog. Your strength stretched thin, your prayers feeling unanswered, your hope flickering like a candle in the wind. But what if all of that wasn't random? What if the delays weren't denials, but divine direction? Chosen one, have you ever wondered if what felt like rejection was actually redirection? Because right now, heaven is turning the page, and you're not reading the story anymore. You're about to become the story. Something rare, something sacred, is approaching like the climax of a movie that's been slowly building, frame by frame, to your breakthrough. This isn't just another week. This isn't just another Monday. This is the scene where the overlooked character, the one who bore the weight of every trial without applause, finally rises. And here's the twist. You are that character. You are not the side note in someone else's narrative. You are the reason the entire plot exists. Have you felt the tension building lately? That isn't anxiety. It's the pressure of your destiny trying to push through. Have you noticed how certain people disappeared, how certain doors closed, how certain stages were denied to you? What if they didn't fall apart? What if they fell into place? This Monday will not look like the others. It will feel like the set of something bigger, because it is. It's the moment when the phone rings, not with obligation, but with destiny. When the opportunity knocks, and it's the door you thought had been sealed shut for good. You won't need to force it, fake it, or manipulate your way in. Why? Because this was scheduled by heaven. God himself marked this date on your timeline. You didn't miss your season. Your season was just waiting for you to become the person worthy of the scene. For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Habakkuk 2:3. Think of Joseph, once betrayed and imprisoned, but then summoned from the dungeon to the palace overnight. Or consider Oprah Winfrey, fired from her first job in television and told she was unfit for TV, only to become one of the most influential voices in the world. They had Mondays like this too, days that looked ordinary on the outside, but were divinely packed with transformation. What if your name is next on God's production sheet? What if the scene you're walking into this week is the one that turns watchers into witnesses? The people who doubted you, ignored your effort, or labeled you as too much or not enough. They weren't blocking your blessing. They were unknowingly helping God prune your stage. Every no was making room for the yes that fits. Every delay was creating anticipation for the reveal. Just like David was anointed king, but had to wait years through obscurity and warfare before he sat on the throne. Your journey has been a training ground for something public, powerful, and prophetic. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. Can you feel the shift in the air? It's like the atmosphere is vibrating with anticipation, like the credits are about to roll, and the world will finally see what God has been developing in the dark. Have you been sensing divine alignment? Moments that are too specific to be coincidences. A text that comes right when you pray. A sign on the street that echoes your thoughts. That's not random. That's rehearsal for the big scene. That's heaven preparing your spirit for a moment only you were designed to carry. You're not behind. You're in position. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're not forgotten. You're being filmed from angles you can't yet see. And this Monday, it won't feel like a regular day. It will feel like stepping into a dream you forgot you even had. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. The pressure you felt is about to convert into presence. The silence you've endured is about to break with sound. And when it happens, it won't be subtle. It'll be cinematic. People will look at your life and ask, how did that happen so fast? And your only answer will be, it was always written. Let's not forget Elon Musk, ridiculed during his early ventures, told he'd never succeed with rockets or electric cars. Today, he's building futures. Or J.K. Rowling, who faced dozens of rejections before one publisher took a chance and launched a global phenomenon. Every great story has a turning point. This Monday is yours. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. An unfolding is coming that no man can block, no system can delay, and no enemy can sabotage. Chosen one, can you feel that in your spirit? This is not the result of a favor pulled or a contact leveraged. This is the orchestration of heaven itself. You didn't hustle your way here. You endured your way here. You didn't manipulate a platform. You were molded in private. You cried for this moment, but more than that, you grew for this moment. While others were chasing spotlight, you were being shaped in silence. While the world was applauding noise, God was developing your depth. You've matured when no one was applauding. You've served when no one acknowledged. And you've remained faithful, even in the dry seasons where every prayer felt like a whisper into the void. But now, this Monday, you're about to step into something brighter than just promotion. You're stepping into revelation, a light that doesn't blind you with artificial fame, but reveals who you've truly become. This won't be a scene filled with striving, begging, or scrambling. It will be one of elevation, where your spirit finally catches up to what heaven has always known about you. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. Can you recognize when divine timing wraps itself in an ordinary day? What if the next sunrise is not just a new start, but the appointed hour? You'll know it not because of fireworks, but because of the stillness. You'll sense it in the morning air, how it hums with possibility. You'll notice it in the way people pause before speaking to you, in the honor they give without understanding why. You'll feel it in the deep, unshakable peace that begins to fill you. Like God himself is whispering, "It's time." This isn't hype. This is holy rhythm, and you're walking in step with heaven's score. Look at Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, unseen by the world, forgotten by many. But when his moment came, it was global. It was divine. He stepped into a light that revealed a leader, not a prisoner. That same dynamic is about to happen in your life. You were not buried. You were planted. And now you rise. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalm 118, verse 22. This Monday won't wait for your doubts to catch up. It won't ask for your permission to bless you. It will arrive like a wave with the force of everything you've endured behind it. This isn't about being ready in the flesh. It's about being open in the spirit. Are you spiritually alert? Are you emotionally present? Or are you still rehearsing old disappointments in your head while heaven is staging your breakthrough right in front of you? You may start the day brushing your teeth, sipping your coffee, walking into a routine like every Monday before it, but something is going to feel different, a holy disruption. Before the clock hits midnight, something surreal will unfold. Maybe it's a text from someone who forgot you, now remembering. Maybe it's an email that reopens a door you thought had been sealed shut. Maybe it's a message that confirms a vision you journaled months ago and nearly gave up on. Or maybe it's just a knowing, a sacred awareness that this Monday is not like the rest. This is movie time, and you are not the extra. You are the one the whole script has been waiting on. Just as Viola Davis was once told she was not beautiful enough for leading roles and now holds an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony, your past limitations are about to become irrelevant. The narrative is about to flip. And no critic, no hater, no inner fear can stop it. Why? Because what God authors, no one else gets to edit. When the Lord takes pleasure in anyone's way, he causes their enemies to make peace with them. Proverbs 16:7. So don't scroll through this Monday distracted. Don't waste spiritual bandwidth on drama. Keep your eyes open. Watch how the small things start to shimmer with meaning. Stay close to your spirit. Heaven is casting scenes right in front of you. And when it happens, when that thing unfolds, remember, you didn't manifest this, you matured into it. This Monday isn't the reward, it's the reveal. It's not a coincidence, it's a covenant moment. Remember how Steve Harvey went from sleeping in his car to hosting globally televised shows? His breakthrough didn't knock politely, it came suddenly, divinely, after years of tears and faithfulness. That kind of turnaround, the kind that makes people shake their heads in disbelief, is exactly what God is positioning for you. And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. 1 Peter 5:10. Prepare yourself, not with anxiety or fear, but with reverence and expectation, for what's about to unfold will leave you changed forever. Chosen one, can you sense it? There's beauty rising from the ashes, breakthrough hidden in the mundane, and blessings arriving dressed as ordinary moments. You're not walking into chaos, you're walking into choreography, divine choreography, because the director of your life, God Himself, is not only calling for action, He's calling you into the climax of your story. Have you ever whispered, "If only this would happen," in a moment of desperation? Those weren't just passing thoughts. Heaven collected every one of those whispers like seeds. And now they're about to bloom into "it finally did." This Monday will be the moment your longing becomes a living testimony. It may feel sudden, like everything changed overnight, but the truth is, it's been building all along. You just couldn't see it yet. What seemed stagnant was actually sacred setup. This moment is not hype, not wishful thinking. It's holy alignment in motion. It's what happens when your timeline finally catches up to what God has already spoken over you. Can you feel it? That internal shift, that inner knowing that says, something is different? Just like a great film gives you goosebumps before the climactic scene, your spirit already senses the weight of what's coming. That's not emotion, that's confirmation. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Look at Tyler Perry, once homeless, writing plays no one came to see. But he didn't stop. He kept writing, kept believing. Then came the day when his stage was full and the world finally watched what God had been writing in private. He didn't become ready, he was ready. He just had to step into the moment, just like you will this Monday. So when it happens, when the call comes, when the text lights up your phone, or when that long-awaited peace suddenly settles over your home, don't talk yourself out of it. Don't shrink under the weight of answered prayer. Why do we so often question the very thing we begged God for? Chosen one, you must receive it without resistance. Accept the blessing without explaining it away. You've prayed for this, fasted for this, cried over this, and now it's yours. Don't let insecurity rob you of inheritance. Don't let fear sabotage favor. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights. James 1:17. This isn't just another Monday. This is the Monday that rewrites your week, your rhythm, your reputation. The shift won't just be seen, it will be felt, and not just by you. The people around you will sense it too. Your glow will return. Your confidence will rise. Not from ego, but from alignment. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. John 1:5. Think of Malala Yousafzai, who rose from a near-fatal attack to become the youngest Nobel laureate. The moment that nearly ended her life became the very scene that transformed it. Her testimony became global, but before it was broadcast, it was personal. That's how divine scenes work. They don't start with applause. They begin with presence. That's what's coming for you. Not a loud explosion, but a quiet, undeniable shift. You'll smile at things that used to make you anxious. You'll find peace where you used to find panic. You'll laugh without needing a reason. Why? Because your soul will know something holy has entered the room. That's how miracles arrive. Not in chaos, but in clarity. Can you stay present enough to notice it? Or will you be so distracted by your schedule that you miss the holy disruption God has planned just for you? Let the divine timing unfold. Let the script play out. You don't need to rewrite it. You don't need to force the scene. Just be present, be ready, be willing. God doesn't need your control. He needs your yes. And when that moment hits, when you realize what you're walking into is far greater than anything you planned, remember this: you were chosen for this scene before you were even born. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. It's your time now, just like Jim Carrey, who once wrote himself a $10 million check for acting services rendered when he had no money, and years later cashed it when the role arrived. Faith sets the stage, but presence opens the door. What you wrote in private is now being revealed in public. The spotlight isn't an accident. The timing isn't off. God is pressing play, and you, chosen one, are about to witness the scene that will be talked about for generations. There's a divine rhythm woven into the fabric of the universe, a sacred cadence that guides everything in perfect timing. And chosen one, you are about to step into that rhythm like a note, finally finding its harmony in the grand score of heaven's song. This isn't happening because you strived harder than others. This isn't the result of exhaustion or desperation. It's the reward of surrender, of trusting the process when nothing made sense, of choosing alignment over anxiety. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. Can you feel the stillness that comes before the music swells? That's where you are now. Not in chaos, but in calibration. What's coming this Monday isn't the byproduct of panic prayers. It's the unveiling of a plan that's been moving in silence behind the curtain. You didn't have to claw your way into the spotlight. You waited, often with tears in your eyes and questions in your heart, but you waited with integrity. And now the reward is rising. Think of Chadwick Boseman, who for years took on quiet roles, studied his craft, endured sickness without complaint, and then suddenly emerged as a global icon, Black Panther. His rise seemed sudden to the world, but heaven had been preparing him all along. Just like you. You're not finally being noticed, you're being revealed. You didn't miss your window. You became the version of yourself worthy of what's behind the door. You didn't manipulate the storyline. You let the author write it. And even when you didn't understand the plot, you didn't grab the pen. Do you realize how rare that is? While others rushed to platforms, you stayed in the process. While others demanded visibility, you sought vision. And now, heaven is ready to echo back the truth it always knew. You were never forgotten. You were being formed. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. This week, the emergence begins. That moment where people say, "Wait, who is that?" Or, "Where did they come from?" Not knowing that while they were watching everyone else, God was watching you. Heaven saw your late nights, your sacrifices, your discipline when no one clapped for you. Heaven saw how you chose purity when compromise was easier, how you kept showing up when giving up would have made sense. And now the script is turning. The hidden one is stepping into the scene. Have you ever wondered why it felt like you were always on the sidelines, cheering others on while your name never got called? It wasn't rejection, it was preservation. God didn't hide you to hurt you. He hid you to build you. Because some stages would have broken you had you reached them too soon. But now you are stronger, quieter, clearer, ready. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up. James 4:10. Look at Vera Wang. She didn't design her first dress until age 40. Today, her name is synonymous with elegance and excellence. Her emergence was delayed by human standards, but right on time by divine design, just like yours. So don't be surprised when this Monday feels different, when things begin to shift and favor starts flowing, not from your effort, but from your energy. Because energy rooted in alignment always attracts what's already yours. You've waited long enough, but this isn't just about time passing. It's about you transforming. Your character was carved in silence. Your voice was sharpened in prayer. Your discernment was tested in stillness. And now, as the spotlight begins to shift, remember this. You didn't earn this moment by force. You received it through faith. What's coming to you isn't compensation, it's confirmation. So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. Hebrews 10:35. There's a scene waiting ahead of you, chosen one, and it's not just familiar, it's prophetic. It won't just look like everything you once dreamed of. It will exceed it. Why? Because your vision was limited by human longing. But this scene was written with divine foresight. This isn't fantasy. This is favor, the kind that breaks protocol, bypasses gatekeepers, and places you in positions you never campaigned for. You'll find yourself in the right place at the right time, speaking words that weren't rehearsed, to people who hold keys you didn't even know existed. And none of it will be your doing. You won't be striving, you'll be flowing. It will feel too precise to be coincidence. Because it isn't. It's heaven's orchestration. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Proverbs 16:9. Have you ever looked back at certain moments and realized they made no sense until now? The silence, the confusion, the closed doors, they were never punishment, they were positioning. Heaven has never been improvising with your life. There is no ad-libbing in the divine script. What's about to happen this Monday was already on the calendar of eternity. You didn't stumble into it. You survived for it. The delays, the detours, the betrayals, they didn't cancel your purpose. They calibrated it. Think of Morgan Freeman. His breakout role didn't come until he was over 50. Before then, he was often overlooked, doubted, and dismissed. But when his moment came, it didn't just launch a career, it revealed a calling. Like you, he wasn't late. He was being prepared. And now, you too are stepping into alignment, where every setback will make sense in hindsight. The wind that once tried to knock you down actually helped root you deeper. You've been through storms that almost shattered your belief in yourself. You've walked through seasons that drained your energy, questioned your worth, and tempted you to give up. People have underestimated you, called you average, passed you over as if you were invisible. But all of that built something deeper than skill. It built character. It built a core that cannot be shaken. You didn't just develop talents, you developed tenacity. You didn't just learn to pray louder, you learned to stand still when everything else shook. And now, this moment, you're not stepping into it with trembling hands. You're stepping in with quiet fire. You are no longer trying to prove your worth. You've embodied it. This is not a season where you chase validation. It's the season where you walk in revelation. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. Psalm 37, verses 23 to 24. You're ready now. That's why it's happening now. God didn't delay this moment because you were being punished. He delayed it because he was making sure that when it came, you wouldn't shrink, you wouldn't second guess, you wouldn't disqualify yourself. And that's exactly what you used to do, right? Second guess your own strength? Wonder if maybe they were right to overlook you. But not anymore. Not this time. Consider Misty Copeland, who was told she didn't have the right body type or background for ballet, and yet she became the first African-American female principal dancer with the American Ballet Theatre. She didn't get there by conforming. She got there by stepping boldly into the space they said wasn't made for her. That's the energy you're walking in this Monday. Quiet power, spiritual poise, not arrogance, assurance, not ego, elevation. Are you ready to walk into the room without minimizing yourself? Can you accept that you no longer need to apologize for your anointing? Because this Monday isn't just another day, it's a divine command. And you've been given permission from heaven to take up space. You're not intruding, you're fulfilling. You're not interrupting, you're arriving. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. This isn't a pep talk. This is a prophecy. You're not being pushed forward by people. You're being pulled forward by destiny. There will come a moment, chosen one, a sacred nudge deep within your spirit, not anxiety, not pressure, but a divine push that feels like pure alignment. It'll come softly but unmistakably, a voice within whispering, "Say it now. Go there now. Take the call. Trust this moment." And when it comes, you won't feel fear. You'll feel flow, because it won't be random. It will be the very whisper that was scripted for this scene. And when you obey that nudge, you'll look around and realize you've just stepped into a scene that's been waiting not on a miracle, but on your yes. All the delays, they weren't detours, they were divine edits. Every not yet you heard in prayer was saving the weight of your destiny for this now. The moments that once made you feel forgotten were actually preparation for a day when you'd no longer be invisible, but in position. Can you accept that some answers were delayed because your soul wasn't ready to carry the magnitude of what was coming? And now that you are, now that you've been stretched, softened, strengthened, you're about to see why every closed door was mercy. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. Even if this Monday begins quietly, even if the sun rises and everything around you feels painfully ordinary, don't be deceived by appearances. Heaven often begins its most powerful moves in complete silence. Just like seeds sprout underground before breaking through the soil, your moment is germinating even now, unseen but unstoppable. You don't need noise to validate it. You need discernment to perceive it. Have you ever watched a powerful movie where the most unforgettable scenes didn't begin with chaos, but calm, where the background music softens, the lights dim, the streets fall silent, right before something life-altering breaks through? That's the kind of Monday you're walking into. A spiritual suspense, a divine setup, a holy unfolding, and the universe isn't going to ask for your permission. It's already moving. And now it's asking for your cooperation. Think of Harriet Tubman, who followed internal divine nudges, visions, dreams. No map, no guarantee, just flow. And in that obedience she led hundreds to freedom. That's the power of one nudge followed by one yes. You don't need the full plan, you just need the first step. And when it comes, when that moment whispers, move now, don't hesitate, don't delay it with doubt, because the door that opens next will not swing twice. There will be a moment, maybe quick, maybe subtle, or maybe so overwhelming it brings tears, when something within you will shift. It may not come with lightning, it may not come with claps or camera flashes, but it will feel like something ancient inside you just clicked into place. It will feel like peace, like clarity, like the sudden return of a hope you buried long ago. Do not dismiss that moment. Don't call it coincidence. That's the sign. That's the whisper before the thunder. That's your cue. And chosen one, this is why the process has been so intense. This is why the wilderness seasons were long. This is why the silence hurt so deeply. You weren't forgotten. You were being refined. You weren't discarded. You were being discipled. The quiet wasn't rejection. It was training ground. The hiddenness wasn't exile. It was exodus. For you, O God, have tested us. You have tried us as silver is tried. We went through fire and through water, yet you have brought us out to a place of abundance. Psalm 66, 10, 12. Look at Keanu Reeves, who lived through immense personal loss and seasons of quiet anonymity before being embraced globally. Not just for his talent, but for his character. His quiet seasons didn't break him, they built him, and now he walks in a peace the world can feel. That's what you're stepping into. A poised power, a peace that leads, a breakthrough that doesn't need to shout, it simply arrives. So, When that divine nudge comes, will you follow it? Will you pause just long enough to hear it? Will you trust that it's not emotion, but activation? You're not walking into randomness. You're walking into a storyline that heaven began writing before you took your first breath. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Jeremiah 1:5. This Monday isn't about hype, it's about heaven. It's not about rushing, it's about revelation. Let the flow guide you, let the whisper direct you. Your moment isn't arriving with thunder, it's arriving with truth. And it's all been waiting for you to simply say yes. The version of you that will rise this Monday is not the same person the world knew last year, last season, or even last week. This is a new dimension of you, forged by fire, purified through pressure, and sharpened in sacred silence. This version of you has survived what others didn't see. You've wept in prayer closets, wrestled with God in the dark, and still emerged with your faith intact. That alone makes you dangerous in the spirit. You're no longer easily shaken. You're no longer seduced by distractions or deceived by surface-level success. You have become spiritually unbothered by noise because you're tuned in to a frequency only heaven broadcasts. You now know the difference between chaos and calling, between popularity and purpose, and because of that, you walk into this Monday not with anxiety, but with expectancy. Chosen one, do you understand the power of expectancy? It's not random hope, it's targeted faith. It's the posture of someone who isn't begging for blessings, they're expecting fulfillment. And that's the mindset of the chosen. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. Hebrews 10:23. You're not crossing your fingers, you're standing on a promise. You didn't make this up, God did. And when God speaks, he watches over his word to perform it. That's the difference. You're not leaning on fantasy, you're anchored in prophecy. There's a distinct atmosphere that surrounds a God-given promise. Have you felt it lately? That tension in your spirit that says, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's near. That's not imagination, that's confirmation. When you're close to manifestation, the air changes. You begin to feel acceleration. Things start shifting quickly. People start reaching out. Opportunities seem to find you instead of the other way around. And even though it feels sudden, it's not. It's just the moment finally catching up to the preparation you've been doing in secret. Think about Abraham Lincoln. For years, he faced defeat after defeat. He lost elections, he endured deep depression, but when his time came, it was undeniable. He didn't become great because everything went smoothly. He became great because he endured and trusted the timing. Just like you, what's been delayed in your life wasn't denied. The moment just needed the mature you to meet it. Right now, there's something divine brewing in the atmosphere around you. And even if you don't have the full picture yet, your spirit is already reacting. You're dreaming differently, thinking differently, moving differently. That's the sign. That's what it feels like when the windows of heaven begin to open. God often activates your instincts before he reveals the scene. And chosen one, your instincts are lit right now for a reason. Surely, the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. Amos 3:7. You've been preparing, sometimes without even knowing what you were preparing for. You've been drawn to clean up your inner world, to let go of certain people, to step back from things that once satisfied you. That wasn't random. That was repositioning. The signal was already being sent from heaven that something big was about to drop, and you listened, even when it didn't make sense. That's what makes you chosen. That's why you're not going to miss what's coming, because God never wastes obedience, and you, in all your uncertainty, were still obedient. Consider Ava DuVernay. She didn't pick up a camera to direct a film until she was 32, and didn't direct a major motion picture until 40. But when she stepped into alignment, her rise was like lightning. Her preparation met her moment, and it was unstoppable. That's how you'll know it's your time. Things that once resisted will now release. Conversations that used to stall will now accelerate. Not because you're more talented, but because the timing is now right. So let me ask you, can you feel that spiritual charge in the atmosphere? That quiet urgency that something you've prayed for, cried for, bled for, is closer than ever before? Are you willing to walk into Monday not waiting for signs, but being the sign? Because this isn't about waiting anymore. It's about walking into the scene God already wrote, at the pace He's now quickening. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Habakkuk 2:3. Don't be alarmed if this Monday doesn't look the way you pictured it. That's exactly how God operates. He's not restricted by your logic. He's moved by your trust. Chosen one, can you surrender the image of how you thought it would come in exchange for the peace of knowing it will come? Because the delivery may surprise you, but the outcome will ground you. You won't feel the need to analyze every detail. Instead, you'll feel settled, not rushed, not panicked. Just a holy calm that lets you know, this is not man-made. This is heaven's doing. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. Be sensitive this Monday, not just to the big moments, but to the small ones. The divine often hides in details that look too ordinary to carry miracles. A random phone call, a conversation with someone you hadn't planned to see, an unexpected delay that reroutes your day, a creative idea that drops into your mind without warning. These aren't interruptions, they are invitations. The supernatural is often camouflaged as the everyday. Will you notice it when it arrives in plain clothes? Look at how David, just bringing lunch to his brothers, stumbled into a battlefield and walked away with Goliath's head. Or how Rosa Parks, tired after a long day, made a decision on a bus that changed history. Destiny doesn't always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it whispers. The question is, will you recognize the whisper? Because you're not ordinary. You're chosen. You're built to see what others miss. You're wired to feel shifts before they become visible. That sensitivity you once saw as weakness is actually your superpower. It's what allows you to perceive what's invisible to others. While some overlook the divine moment, you're tuned in. And that's why this Monday is going to hit differently. Not because something loud happens, but because you will feel it. Deep in your spirit, a sense of this is it. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:14. You were never meant to blend in. You were never designed to sleepwalk through your days. Your soul was made to sense heaven's rhythm, to feel the tremble of divine shifts beneath the surface. So, if you find yourself overwhelmed on Monday, if tears come without warning, or if joy rushes through your chest without reason, don't fight it. That's your soul recognizing the weight of the moment. You've reached a turning point. Think of Maya Angelou. Her voice, her words, her presence carried a spiritual power that moved nations, yet so much of her transformation came through silent pain, seasons of hiding and unseen healing. When her moment came, the world didn't just hear her, the world felt her. That's the kind of moment you're entering. Not just visibility, but vibration. Not just applause, but alignment. You're not starting just another week. You're stepping into the week. The one that shifts everything. The one your spirit has been tracking for months. You've been feeling a build-up, right? An internal countdown. A pressure without a name. That wasn't nerves. That was the signal. And this Monday is the arrival. This is your spirit whispering, "We've arrived, we made it. This is what we waited for." And you won't need an audience. You won't need a platform. The shift won't require permission. The storyline is changing. The scene is opening. The light is hitting center stage. And guess where it's landing? On you. Because heaven has waited for this moment. And now, so have you. The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Psalm 118:23. This Monday will not simply feel like a turning point, it will be one. A divine threshold is being crossed, and what awaits on the other side is a reality you've long sensed but never fully seen until now. You're stepping into a new rhythm, a new pace, a new atmosphere. Chosen one, can you feel it stirring? The conversations you'll engage in won't be small talk, they'll be catalytic. The decisions you make will no longer maintain the status quo. They'll unlock doors no man can shut. The favor that begins to find you will not be coincidence. It will be confirmation. Confirmation of what your heart already whispered during the waiting. God was never finished. He was just preparing a twist that only heaven could write. And what a twist it is. The kind that shifts you from silence to significance, from obscurity to visibility. And remember, not one scene has been wasted. Every chapter that felt too long, every character that left without closure, every battle that almost broke you, they were all setting the stage. Even the moments that felt meaningless were rehearsal. Even the heartbreaks were choreography. Even the waiting was weightlifting for your soul. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. Now the curtain is rising, the lights are up, and heaven is calling for the next act. This is divine orchestration, not chaos. This is clarity, not confusion. You're not scrambling for a place at the table anymore. You are the table. The script has already been written, and guess whose name is on the next scene? Yours. Not because of perfection or performance, but because of divine positioning. Everything that needed to be removed has been cleared. Everything that needed to shift has shifted. Everything that needed to heal has begun. And now, it's your time. Think of Viola Davis, who waited years for the roles she knew she could embody. When her moment came, it didn't just elevate her, it shook the entire industry. That's what happens when preparation collides with divine timing. That's what's happening for you this Monday. The stage isn't borrowed, it's yours. The spotlight isn't forced, it's aligned. And heaven has cued the next act, you. And here's what makes it sacred. This moment wasn't chosen because it was convenient. It was chosen because it was consecrated. It's not random. It's appointed, holy, and rare. When you wake up, it might look like any other day. No fireworks, no booming announcements. But if you tune into your spirit, you'll feel it. The air will hum differently. The way your thoughts move will shift. The way you breathe, pause, walk, speak. It will all carry a new weight. You won't be able to explain it logically, but your soul will whisper, "This is different. This is the day we've waited for." The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delighteth in His way. Psalm 37, verse 23. You're not going to think you're in a movie. You're going to feel like you've stepped into a scene written entirely for you, crafted from heaven's perspective for this exact hour. There won't be any confusion about your role this time. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for your anointing. No more questioning your presence in the room. You won't feel like a background extra in your own story. This Monday, you take the lead. Not because you need attention, but because the narrative demands it. Look at Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks. Born into poverty, overlooked by the world. He didn't just build a company, He walked into a moment that made room for his vision to take center stage. That's the energy you're carrying now. You're not rising to impress. You're rising because your calling has matured. And it's time the world adjusts to your presence, not the other way around. Chosen one, can you walk into this week not hoping for permission, but knowing you've been appointed? Can you accept that this scene won't repeat, that you must rise to it now? Because this is not performance. This is prophecy. Your life demands center stage, not for your ego, but for your assignment, for the people attached to your voice, for the generations that will shift because you said yes. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. Psalm 118:23. When the moment arrives, chosen one, it will feel like you're standing inside a dream, but this time you won't be watching from the outside. You'll be living it. And when it comes, don't freeze, don't flinch. Don't let hesitation rob you of a destiny that's been knocking on your door for years. Do not ask yourself, am I really ready for this? Because the answer is already written in heaven's script. Yes, you are. You've walked through too much fire, too much refining, too much pruning to get here and doubt your readiness now. And what you feel you still lack, heaven will supply it as you go. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Divine grace will show up exactly where you feel insufficient. Words will rise up in your mouth when you thought you'd stumble. Strength will surge in your body at the exact point your past would have collapsed. What used to freeze you will now fuel you. What used to paralyze you will now propel you. You are no longer a candidate for delay. You are an ambassador of divine momentum. There's a supernatural speed tied to your next step. Not because you're rushing, but because you're finally moving in rhythm with what God has been waiting to release. And here's what's going to surprise you. The way people begin to respond to you will suddenly shift. You'll walk into rooms and feel something has changed. Where there was once indifference, there will be honor. Where doors were closed tight, you'll find them not just open, but waiting. Where you were once met with silence or excuses, there will now be invitations. Don't be fooled into thinking they've changed. The real shift was in you. Your frequency has elevated. You've stepped into spiritual alignment, and everything around you must now acknowledge the call on your life. When a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. Proverbs 16:7. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., whose words carried a vibration that history could not ignore. At one time, he was overlooked and dismissed, but as he stepped deeper into purpose, the world adjusted to his frequency. That's what you're carrying now: a sound, a presence, an atmosphere. Doors don't open because you demand them. They open because you carry destiny. And then something else will settle in, a clarity so gentle it won't come with pressure but with peace. It will fall on you like a soft breeze, not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. You'll just know what to say, know where to go, know what to release. You won't need to overthink or analyze. The moment will feel timed to perfection. Just like a cinematic sequence, everything will move in sync. Your words, your posture, your responses. And yet only you will fully understand the depth of it. Why? Because only you know the road it took to get here. Only you know the cost of the calm you now carry, the tears behind the triumph, the nights you wrestled with God asking when, the loneliness that carved out your discernment, this clarity you're about to receive. It wasn't cheap, it was purchased in obedience. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. Psalm 29:11. Look at Brené Brown, once terrified to speak about vulnerability, now known worldwide because she leaned into the very thing that scared her. Her authenticity became her strength. The moment she stopped shrinking, the world started listening. That's where you are now. You're not pretending. You're positioned. You're not hoping for an open door. You are the door that leads others into revelation. Can you trust yourself enough to move when the timing feels surreal? Can you believe that what's happening isn't too good to be true? It's finally true, because this next act isn't about proving yourself. It's about being yourself, fully, unapologetically, spiritually awake. You won't need to shout. You won't need to announce it. The atmosphere will announce it for you. You've entered the scene, and everything is aligning around the light you carry. So when that clarity comes, when peace replaces panic, when flow replaces fear, when divine energy overrides past paralysis, remember, this is what the preparation was for. This is what the pain was training you to recognize. You're not just in a scene, you are the shift, and heaven has already whispered, action. Others may look at your life this Monday and say, wow, they got lucky. They'll marvel at the timing, the alignment, the open doors, and assume it all happened suddenly, but you will know the truth, chosen one. You weren't just in the right place at the right time. You were in the right spiritual posture for a divine interruption. This isn't luck. This is legacy. This isn't coincidence. It's covenant. It's not a random moment of favor. It's the outcome of countless unseen rehearsals in the dark. What's unfolding now is the result of nights spent in prayer, of days filled with obedience, and of seasons where no one clapped, but heaven was watching. The road to this moment wasn't easy. You've walked through heartbreak that left you breathless. You've carried disappointment so heavy it bent your posture. You've sacrificed when no one noticed, and endured isolation that tried to convince you you were forgotten. But through it all, something precious was forming deep within you. Not a brand, not a performance, something real, something that cannot be bought, copied, or faked. A divine core, a warrior's heart, a chosen one's mindset. And that is what makes you ready. Not your perfection, but your purification. Not your resume, but your refinement. Not your name being in lights, but your name being whispered in heaven. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised. James 1:12. Now, the scene is shifting. The atmosphere is charged. The music of your life has reached the crescendo. You're not watching someone else step into greatness. You're the one, the main character. And this is the moment the script was always building toward. You're walking into a day that will redefine how others see you. But even more powerfully, it will confirm to you who you really are. You'll no longer question if you're the one. You'll know you were born for this. Remember how Serena Williams rose after injuries, doubts, and personal storms, not just to return, but to dominate again. Her return wasn't luck, it was legacy. Her excellence wasn't noise. It was earned through disciplined tears and divine alignment. That's the spirit in you now. Not hype, but holy confidence. Not fear, but fire. You'll look around this Monday and realize this is the scene I always hoped would happen. The one you envisioned in silence. The one you whispered to God about when everyone else thought you were crazy. The one you tried to forget at times because it felt too big for someone like you. But here it is. Not because you forced it, not because you begged for it, but because you magnetized it, with every decision to keep going when quitting would have been easier. You chose peace over pettiness. You chose character over convenience. You chose to pray when no one was watching, to worship when you had no evidence, to prepare when it looked like nothing was moving. That's what brought you here. Not the applause, not the connections, not the clout, but the covenant you honored in the dark. Therefore humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. This is that due time, the part in the film when the audience leans in, the music swells, the silence breaks, the tension lifts. And the main character doesn't just walk into the scene, they own it. That's you. Not because you're trying to prove anything, but because everything inside you is finally aligned with what heaven has already declared. Think of Bethany Hamilton, who returned to surfing after losing her arm in a shark attack, not with pity, but with power. Her comeback wasn't staged, it was spirit-led. Her courage rewrote her story, just like yours will. Because this isn't just a good day, this is a God day, and it has your name on it. And now, it's time. Time to walk into what was once only whispered in prayer. Time to say yes, not halfway, not hesitantly, but with your whole spirit. This isn't a moment to question. This is a moment to claim. You don't need to understand every detail in order to take the step. You only need the confirmation, and this is it. Chosen one, this is the green light your soul has been waiting for. The divine signal you've been sensing in your dreams, in your stillness, in your spirit. Don't minimize it. Don't explain it away. Don't try to force it into a logical frame, because this Monday won't be logical, it will be legendary. You're about to witness just how swiftly God can flip the script. One moment it will feel like any other day, and the next, silence will turn into celebration. What was hidden will suddenly be highlighted. What was delayed will accelerate. One moment you're checking your phone like usual, and then the message arrives. The door swings open. A name you haven't heard in years is spoken in rooms you've never entered. An opportunity lands in your lap that you didn't chase. And inside your spirit, a yes will echo so clearly you won't be able to ignore it. This is what it feels like when prophecy becomes reality. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. You won't have to knock on every door. The right one will open before you even reach it. You won't have to strive to be seen. Visibility will find you, not because you demanded it, but because the divine timeline has aligned with your preparation. This is your scene, and what's written in heaven for you cannot be assigned to anyone else. You are not replaceable. Heaven does not misplace what it appoints. You were chosen for this exact moment, and no one can play your part. Think of how Jennifer Hudson, once eliminated from American Idol, later went on to win an Academy Award. The world called it a setback. Heaven called it a setup. That's what happens when the scene was never about the stage. It was about the script. And your script, chosen one, has just reached the moment where everything accelerates. You'll find yourself walking into divine appointments without even realizing how you got there. You'll look around and say, wait, this can't be real. But your spirit will answer, this is exactly what we've been waiting for. You've cried for it, grown through it, stayed faithful during seasons of invisibility, and now the divine calendar has reached your name. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to bless all the work of your hands. Deuteronomy 28:12. Don't let fear tell you this is too much. Don't let the past whisper that you don't deserve it. You're not here because of luck. You're here because of alignment, because you stayed on course when it would have been easier to quit, because you chose obedience when no one was watching, because you believed even when the evidence said otherwise. And now it's chasing you, not because you performed, but because you prepared. Not because you pushed, but because you trusted. The spotlight isn't a fluke. The opportunity isn't random. This moment is not a reward. It's a reveal. It's heaven showing what it saw in you all along. It's your confirmation that what was once prophesied is now unfolding, and what's coming won't feel foreign. It will feel familiar, because your spirit already knew. Look at Tyler Perry, once sleeping in his car, rejected and forgotten, until his divine moment caught up with his faithfulness. Now his name carries weight around the world. That's what happens when preparation meets the moment heaven has scripted. That's what happens when you don't abort the mission during the waiting. So, chosen one, will you shrink from this scene, or will you own it? Will you step in timidly or walk in boldly? Because heaven isn't asking you to perform, it's asking you to be present, to show up fully, to trust what's chasing you is not a threat, it's fulfillment. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Habakkuk 2. 3. The time is now, the page has turned, the camera is rolling, and the scene that's been written just for you is already in motion. Say yes, not just with your mouth, but with your heart, your posture, your energy, your expectation. You're not just stepping into a moment, you're stepping into momentum. And from here on out, it won't be about chasing favor. Favor will be chasing you. Chosen one, as we come to the end of this message, take a deep breath and let it settle in your spirit. You were never behind. You were never forgotten. You were simply being aligned with a divine schedule that has no errors. You've carried dreams so massive they scared you into silence. Visions so sacred you couldn't share them with just anyone. And seasons so heavy you wondered if maybe you'd misunderstood the calling entirely. But now, this Monday, something begins to shift. What once felt like weight will suddenly feel like wings. What once seemed like delay will be revealed as divine editing, the kind of sacred timing only heaven knows how to orchestrate. You weren't running late, you were just being positioned for the perfect shot. So don't be surprised when the script flips. Don't be caught off guard when the people who once minimized you are suddenly requesting meetings. When places that rejected your presence are now seeking your leadership. That's the supernatural rhythm of favor. It doesn't just open doors, it reverses narratives. It takes you from overlooked to undeniable, from hidden to highlighted, from background to center stage. And the world won't be able to explain it, but heaven always knew. Thank you, truly, for walking through this entire word with an open heart. Whether you've been watching quietly for a while, or this is your first time hearing a message like this, your presence here is no accident. You were drawn to this moment because your spirit recognized the truth of what was being spoken. I see you. I honor the journey that brought you here, and I want you to know that your time has not been wasted. Your obedience has not gone unnoticed. If this message stirred something in you, if you felt seen, empowered, confirmed, I invite you, with zero pressure, to support this work through the Super Thanks feature. Your donations help us continue to pour into messages like this and reach more chosen ones around the world. But whether you give or not, please hear me clearly. You are deeply appreciated. Your presence, your engagement, your spirit, that alone means more than you know. This space is for you, and we're building something sacred together. Before you go, I speak a blessing over your life. May the doors that once shut in your face now swing open wide without resistance. May you walk into rooms that are already prepared for your voice, your gift, your presence. May every delay be repaid with divine acceleration. May this Monday not just mark a new week, but the first scene of your next most powerful chapter. You are covered, you are chosen, you are rising. If this word resonated with you, type "I receive it" in the comments. Or better yet, declare "It's my time." Let heaven and earth agree with what God is already releasing over your life. Until next time, stay expectant, stay aligned, and walk boldly into your scene. You're not acting anymore. You're living the part you were born to play, and it's all beginning now.